Have you ever wondered how it is to use your first espresso machine for the first time? Inside this box is a new espresso machine that I received yesterday. I'm super excited. We are going to be unboxing it, setting it up so that we can make our first cup of coffee using this espresso machine. Though I'm a barista, I've never used this espresso machine, so it's going to be my first experience using this espresso machine. We are going to find out how easy or hard to use this espresso machine for the first time. Let's start unboxing this espresso machine. So here's what you'll find inside the box when you first open up. The first thing is the manual of the espresso machine, how to set it up, a box of different pot filter baskets that you'll need depending on what type of coffee that you are making, a standard pot filter with a double spout which you'll need for this espresso machine. It also comes with a manual coffee tamper which will enable you to tamp your coffee. This is the cleaning kit. You'll find the cleaning chemicals and a barista tool for leveling up your coffee beans. If you're a fan of latte art, inside this box you will find a milk picture which will enable you to steam your milk and make a good latte art on your cup of coffee. So I'm going to be assembling it. This is the water tank which is found at the back of the espresso machine. It's a 2-liter water tank. So when you're first using it, you insert in the water filter. This will help in filtering your water. So you need to just lock it at the back of the espresso machine. Next, we're going to be fixing the coffee bean hopper. You just place it and lock it. So it comes with a tight cover which enables to store your coffee beans very well without losing the flavors. After fixing the coffee bean hopper, you assemble also the pot filter. Then insert it in the group head. For the small coffee tamper, it fits up here next to the coffee grinder. It has a magnet that holds it. Then this is our drip tray of our espresso machine. In the back side of the drip tray, you can place in pot filter baskets. One thing I would like to share with you about this pot filter basket. These are the two major ones that you'll need. This is a double wall filter basket and one is the standard one. The double wall will help you if you're using pre-grounded coffee beans or old coffee beans. But if you want to make a good cup of coffee, you should use the standard one, and you need freshly roasted coffee beans which will give you the right flavors into your cup of coffee. So this is the Breville Barista Espresso machine, the most popular home espresso machine on the market. The main reason why I chose this espresso machine is an all-in-one espresso machine. It comes with an inbuilt coffee grinder which makes it easy for you to grind your coffee beans fresh and even adjust the different coffee grind size so that you can have the best flavors out of your coffee beans. And when it comes to the espresso extraction, it has a 9-bar pressure which makes it perfect for extracting a good shot of espresso like a professional barista. And if you're someone who loves latte art like I do, it comes with a good steaming one which has good pressure, which enables you to steam your milk using this espresso machine and make a good latte art on your cup of coffee. So if it's your first time seeing me on this channel, I'm Breville Barista. I'm a barista with a 5-year experience. I've been working in different coffee shops using commercial coffee machines. It's my first time to use this home espresso machine. I'm going to be taking you through a full process of making coffee using this espresso machine without adjusting any of the settings. I want to see if we can make a good cup of coffee using the factory settings of this espresso machine. We're going to start by grinding our coffee beans, extracting our shot of espresso, and also making some good latte art on our cup of coffee. I'll start by adding water into the espresso machine tank. This is important because every time you're going to use any espresso machine, you should ensure the tank has enough water that will enable you brew your cup of coffee. Then next, we're going to be filling up our coffee bean hopper with good quality of coffee beans. This is something you need to note because the type of coffee beans that you use will determine the taste that you achieve in your final cup of coffee. After filling up the coffee beans, then next we're going to be connecting our espresso machine to a power source. In some countries, this power plug won't work, so you need an extension so that you can connect our espresso machine to a power source. Then next, we're going to be powering on our espresso machine. I will let it boil the water until 15 minutes. This is the recommendable time for it to boil the water to reach the desirable temperature. After the desirable temperature, I'll start by flushing the group head and also the pot filter so that they can also warm up to reach the desirable temperature. Next, I purge the steaming one. Since I'm going to be making latte art, I need fresh steam. So by purging your steaming one helps to remove the remaining air in the steaming one so that you can have fresh steam. After warming up and preparing the espresso machine, it's time to make our cup of coffee. I start by cleaning the pot filter. One important tool that you need is a coffee scale. So I place my pot filter on a weighing scale, tally it, then start grinding. This will help me measure the dose that I need because I'm using 17 grams of grinded coffee beans. So after grinding, I'm going to weigh the coffee grains to see if I'm having exactly 17. So as you can see, I'm having 19. I'll reduce until I can have 17 grams. So after having 17 grams, I'm going to tamp the coffee beans. This is an important process. You need to evenly tamp your coffee bed so that you don't have a challenge of channeling. So you need to tamp very well, evenly, so that you can be able to have a good extraction. Also, when I'm extracting my shot of espresso, I weigh my yield out. So my yield out is going to be 34 since I'm using 17 grams of coffee beans. I also time my espresso so that I can follow the brewing time that I need for extracting this shot of espresso. As you can see, the espresso is flowing a little bit fast. This is because we are using the factory settings. So if you want to adjust on the fast flowing espresso, you just need to adjust the coffee grinds to a fine grind size. This is what I'll be working on my next video, so stay tuned. So this is our shot of espresso on a time of 20. So as you can see, the espresso is not very bad. I'll just transfer it in my latte cup so that I can be able to make a good latte art using this espresso machine, because my goal is making a latte. So I add milk into our milk jug just below the spalp, which is the standard level when you're going to steam milk. Then start our steaming process. This is going to be a tricky steaming process because this espresso machine has less pressure when you're steaming your milk. So I position my steaming one on top of the milk, injecting air into the milk, give it more time so that it can be able to create that vortex. After it has gained enough energy to push and texture the milk, I then lower down my steaming one so that I can heat up to reach the desirable temperature of my milk. So make sure not to overheat your milk. So a 65 to 70 is our ideal temperature when we are steaming our milk. So I'm checking for my temperature by holding the base of my jug. So at my desirable temperature, I stop my steaming one. You should remove your milk jug very slowly because the pressure continues coming out even when you lock the steaming one knob. Clean your steaming one so that you don't leave any residue of milk on your steaming one. As you can see, this is a good texture that can enable you make a good latte art on your cup of coffee. So I'm making the latte art. This is a basic tulip, which is a 1, 2, 3, a most beginner latte art that you can start with from the heart. Then you can make this 3-layer tulips. So as you can see, it has less foam as a latte. I'll test it. This is not a very bad cup of coffee. As you've seen the result while using this espresso machine factory settings, you can make a good cup of coffee. But as a barista, I believe you can make a much better cup of coffee if you understand how to adjust the different settings of this espresso machine to grind your coffee beans perfectly, extract a good shot of espresso, and how you can develop a technique of steaming your milk perfectly and make a good latte art using this espresso machine. So make sure to check out my video next week. I'll also be sharing one of the exciting things that I'm currently working on. When it's ready, I'll link it up here. So make sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching.